Hello and welcome to Joy News Today. Coming up in the next 60 minutes, fresh trouble for physiotherapists accused of sexually abusing his clients in licensed sex predator expose as traditional medicine practitioners council say its investigations reveal he was operating with a forged license. Poor seed quality and galamsey threatening food security in one of Ghana's main food production outlet, the Western North region. We have details as a Greek minister, Dr. Owusu Akoto, resumes his tour of Ghana's famine regions. Also, it's the Teachers' Day. We'll bring you the latest from the national event to celebrate hard-working teachers across the country. With more, including business, sports, world news, and show business, all coming up in this hour. Stay with us. Now, poor seed quality and illegal mining is threatening the ability of the region to continue producing food for residents and the country at large. That's according to the Western North Regional Director of Agriculture, Henry Fojo. He cited poor rice seed quality in particular as ruining the success of rice farmers in the region. He, however, said the supplier of the seeds has agreed to compensate affected farmers with 150 Ghana cedis each and is still paying such farmers. This came up during an interaction with the Agric minister who is touring the region.
You have his own office. So currently you are still fetching within the municipal, agric office. It's basically a 3-room office, which we are sharing. The radio has 1.5 room, and then the municipal staff also have 1.5 room. And then for the dadus, as one.
Well, the Director of Crop Services at the ministry, Seth Oseyakoto, said that illegal mining, although the national conversation on the matter has died down, is impeding the success of farmers. He cited an example of a rice farmer who returned to his farm only to find tractors and excavators destroying his farm.
He said, no, the program, galamsey, is quite endemic within the Western North. These are rice fields that have been cultivated. And a farmer went to inspect his field and he realized that there were bulldozers working. This, Joaboso, we also had, Joaboso Enchi is quite, worrisome. So these are the rice fields that have been, destroyed by the, galamsey activities. And of course, in cocoa fields too, it's also rampant. Presidential initiative on.
My colleague Kweku Asante, who's touring with the Minister of Agric, joins us for a conversation. Kweku, what has been the response of the Minister and officials from the Agric Ministry to these specific concerns raised by the Regional Director of Agric?
Right. So the first response to the specific issue of poor quality of seed came from the Director of Crops at the Ministry, Mr. Seth Akoto, who is explaining that the specific supplier had been banned for that particular year from supplying seeds to farmers in the region. But he's also assuring farmers that going forward, they are going to ensure that they get enough quality seeds to be able to ensure that they get improved yield. But also the minister himself, Dr. Owusu Akoto, has been responding to the issue. He's been saying that when the issue came to his notice, he thought that it was very important. It dispatched high-level officials to the region to be able to sort out the concerns of farmers. But he's also been liaising with the Director of Crops at the ministry to ensure that going forward, these farmers not only receive the compensation they need for the destruction they might have suffered and the loss of yield, but also to ensure that in the future, they're going to have access to quality yield and crops that is going to improve their yield in the region.
Kweku, the Regional Director has also been raising other concerns. Tell us more.
Right. So the other concern that the Director has been speaking about is galamsey. And he cites the example of a farmer who has been cultivating a large tract of farmland of rice. only to go to farm the next day to see that bulldozers and excavators have been brought onto the farm to destroy the farm in search of gold, illegal mining, Galamsey. He said, as the director...
I'm afraid we've just lost Kweku Asante there. Hopefully he can join us. He is on a tour with the Agriculture Minister who is in the Western North region. Kweku Asante will join us and explain exactly where the Agric Minister is now and where the next stop will be. Kweku, we just lost you there. You were talking on the Galamsey bit of the concerns raised.
Right. So I was talking about this farmer who was cultivating a large tract of rice farmland in the Western North region, only to return to the farm to realize that a number of people had converged on the farm to do Galamsey and had destroyed the farm. And so they are appealing to the minister. The minister has been responding to say that, Galamsey is not directly under his ministry, but it affects the farm output because we know that for most of these regions where their primary concerns have been farming, they've also had issues with some of these landowners selling their land to Galamsey operators. And so he says they are going to have an inter-sector regulation to liaise with other ministers and other sectors that have direct access to the issue of Galamsey and ensure that this does not affect the quality of crops in the region and also the food security, seeing that the Western North region is one of the Ghana's main food baskets. And so he's been assuring them that it's going to liaise with colleague ministers at the cabinet level and ensure that they get the requisite support to be able to stem the tide in terms of Galamsey.
And Kweku, where's the minister's next stop?
Right, the minister has just arrived at the Omanjini of the state, also traditional area, to have a conversation, to also pay a courtesy call on him as tradition and courtesy demand. And so from here, he will be going to the cocoa farm. We'll also be seeing to some rice farms and rice production mills, which were created under the One District, One Factory program to actually look at the progress that has been making since the president launched the farm.
Kweku Asante will leave it here. That's my colleague traveling with the Agric Minister who is currently in the Western North region. Meanwhile, in an effort to complement government's clampdown on illegal miners, the task force of the Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Miners has apprehended 13 persons for illegally mining in the eastern region. The suspects include Ghanaians and other West African nationals. They were arrested mining on the Birim River at Achim Mampong near Enyinem. Abdul Razak Al-Hassan speaks for the task force.
Accra village. There is a village called Accra village. We started from there. 3 people were arrested, brought to Enyinem police station. And today we embark on the operation in Mampong and Nkate, and Mochri. There are places named, and these are the people we apprehended. So as we went, they were doing this illegal mining that we said they should stop. And they were washing into the Birim River direct. So as a task force commander, we've started, we want to tell the general public that we are not going to stop. And we'll make sure that those doing these illegalities must put a stop to that. Yesterday 3, today we have 10, making 13. Mixed with them. We are yet to fish them, but most of them are Ghanaians. We put more tactical way of arresting them. We've been battling with these people, not today, for so many years. So we know they are in and out. So as we are expecting that, as I will tell you. So the arrest, we started in the morning, but it's not easy to arrest them. All my men, if you see, they are all divers. So we arrested most of them in the river Birim. They were trying to cross the Birim, but we are faster than them. Drive to cross the Birim to arrest them. We arrested some of them in the Birim River, some at the outskirts of the river.
Now, the Traditional Medicine Practitioners Council says its investigations have revealed the self-styled physiotherapist found to have been sexually abusing his clients in the licensed sex predator documentary was operating with a forged license. The owner of Nature's Hand Therapeutic Center, Jonathan Ohene Nkunim, who claims to be a neuromuscular specialist and a physiotherapist, told desperate women with various health conditions that they needed to be sexually aroused before they could be treated. Manasseh Azuriah-Weni of the Fourth Estate, who exposed the activities of Jonathan Ohinikunim, said the suspect revealed he had hundreds of patients.
When I do it continuously, I get sexually unstable.
He starts by massaging and inserts his entire hand in my vagina. And sometimes I felt his hand in my womb.
I think I'm not the first victim, according to the rumor I heard. I believe that is something probably he does to innocent women or wives, people who come seeking medical attention.
And it's random. It's not like every woman I see.
Came inside and then he hugged me. Then things got more intense. He was touching me, kissing my back, fondling my butt, and trying to find his way inside my vagina.
I noticed that he was actually massaging my buttocks and inserting his fingers into my vagina. The next I knew, it was his penis.
It comes to me as a surprise. I am not aware of any, condition, and in this case, you said lumbar spondylosis. I am not aware of any such condition that would require the patient to be sexually aroused before treatment can be administered. No, it is a surprise.
Things go on, so I'm really surprised.
You're saying it's not true?
If you tell me the truth, I should be in jail by now.
In 2018, Efwa, a 30-year-old banker, not her real identity, was introduced to a specialist when she and her husband needed a child. The couple had suffered a traumatic loss and hoped this specialist would help restore their joy.
We have here Dr. Jonathan Ohinikunim of the Nature's Hand Therapeutic Center at Bali. Doc, welcome to the show.
Initially, I was kind of reluctant since I didn't really know how he used to operate. I decided to give it a try. I was there at the clinic, and actually, he doesn't do the normal diagnosis that you'll be asked to do a lab and those things. He actually has a way. He checks, I don't know whether your pulse or something behind your palm, which looks strange, but that's how he's able to tell if you have a condition or not. He said he learned it in China.
There's the back of the hand, and it has like 360 points.
Okay.
There, so if I want to check there, so I want to check how you sleep, so I check the pulse and the nerve points. And
Okay, so what are you checking now?
I'm checking your sleep ratio, actually.
My
And
sleep ratio?
Yes.
Okay, and?
4 hours, 35 minutes, give or take 10 minutes.
Yesterday?
Yes, last night to this morning.
This guy's a prophet. No, I didn't sleep early. I stayed up late because I was working on a script. So.
And today your eating has been a bit off. You've taken a lot of water, which is good, but your eating is...
Yes, I've taken a lot of water today. Yes. And I'm just eating once, something very little.
Okay. Okay, but all in all, you have a very good pulse. Your heart is very, very good.
My heart is good.
Very, very circulation.
Is a liar.
I won't say 100%, but some were kind of accurate, so. And he mentioned that I had a problem with my cervix and that kind of thing. So I needed to do a procedure which would help me to conceive once therapy had been done. I asked what the therapy was about, and he said he had to insert like a probe into my reproductive vagina, let me put it that way. Sort of manipulate certain things there before I would be able to conceive.
Efwa was not comfortable with the procedure, but it is said that a woman in labor does not hide her private parts from the birth attendant.
While spokesperson for the Traditional Medicine Practice Council, Numo Blafo, says the public should volunteer information on quack practitioners for action. He spoke to Israel Lai earlier on News Desk.
Someone else's license. They got him to regularize it and resume his operations. But of course, they were unaware of some of these issues that have been revealed in the Licensed Sex Predator documentary. He's back on air now. Thank you once again, Mr. Blafo, for for joining us. So the point I'm just trying to make is the
But then behind closed doors, who knows what he does? So if we don't get such reports, how would we know what the person is doing?
All right. So now that we know that these things can go on, I'm just asking.
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Blafo. No more Blafo. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So I'm asking, now that we know that these things, the things have been revealed, some things have been revealed in this licensed sex predator documentary, will that change or inform the way you go about vetting members of your association, or things remain as they are?
No. In fact, we are stepping up. Since May, as I've told you before, since May, we've stepped up our inspection exercises because we cannot leave things to chance. So we've been doing routine inspection of facilities where we come unexpected, because sometimes when we inform them that we are coming, before we get there, they will settle everything, that we will go and see it nicely. Yeah. But now we go unannounced. So we are on it. And in fact, as I'm speaking to you now, we have a lot of such people we are prosecuting in court around the country.
All right.
Yes.
All right. How?
Elsewhere, the central regional town of British Commander has been thrown into a stage of mourning following the drowning of 4 children on Sunday. 6 children went swimming in a community where the leaders say is an unauthorized place. 2 of them who were rescued have been treated and discharged. The Central Regional Police Command has begun investigation into the incident. Regional Police Commander DCOP Kwejo Entry Tebi has visited the scene of the accident. Richard Kojanyako has more.
The children went swimming on Saturday. 4 of them never returned. 2 of them likely were rescued, sent to the hospital, treated and discharged. AJ's son lost his 13-year-old son in Ogbafo in this unfortunate incident. He narrates it happened on their blind side. There was a funeral here. While we were there, we heard that some children had gone to swim and drowned. When we rushed there, I saw my son was part of the dead. Central Regional Police Commander DCOP Kwejo Entry, who visited the scene with his personnel, gave more details about the incident.
4 of them got drowned. Yes, out of the 4, 2 were the bodies of 2 of them were retrieved that very Saturday, and then 1 was retrieved yesterday, washed ashore, and then the last one was also washed ashore today. Just before we came here, they are all students. 1 of them is 20 years. The remaining seems to be under 18 years. 1 is 15, 2 are 12 years, and then 1 is 19. 12 and 13, yes. 1 is 13, 1 is 12, 1 is 15, and then the oldest is 20 years.
He says a lot more education ought to be done on the COVID-19 restrictions to get the people informed.
Although I'm new here, but to my understanding, they have in place this thing, but at times there's some relaxation. If we look at it, if there's some relaxation in that system, then we will ensure that they do what they are supposed to do. They rigorously have to patrol the beaches to prevent such things from happening again. I think there's also the need for education, because according to some of the parents and then the assemblymen, most of these people are illiterate and they don't know anything about some of these measures put in place under the COVID Restriction Act. I mean, not congregating in public without face mask, and also not coming to beaches to enjoy as people used to do from time to time.
Chief Fisherman of British Commander Nana Kwejumbia II says where the children went swimming is a prohibited part of the beach and all rituals will be performed to prevent a recurrence. He says the town is saddened by the development. When we were at the funeral, the children sneaked and came here. Where they came is a prohibited area. This is where our gods rest. We only come here when we have rituals to perform. It's unfortunate. Assemblyman for British Commander Albert Kofi says they are liaising to get signposts at the beaches to show prohibitions of swimming activities.
One, we are going to liaise with the police together with the chief fisherman. And first, we will put some signposts here that here will be prohibited for swimming and bathing by any other person, whether young or old. And number two, we are also going to intensify our patrols. The realization is that we only knew of festive occasions and functions, but this time they sneak and they could demonstrate come here during weekends of Saturday and Sundays.
The bodies have been deposited at the morgue of the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital, while the two who survived have been reunited with their families. Reporting for Joy News, Richard Kwejunyako, British Commander.
Well, today is Tuesday, and in some parts of the country, women and girls are not allowed to cross the River Ofing, which runs through the Central and Ashanti region. This is because a taboo bans them from doing so. Also, girls cannot cross the river when they are menstruating. This old discriminatory tradition is hampering girl-child education and limiting socio-economic activities of females. Jojo Kwabena reports that the women along the river do not want to fight this tradition, but want government to build a bridge across the river.
River Ofing in both Central and Ashanti regions is very sacred. There is an unwritten rule in all communities along the river, and women should not cross it on Tuesdays. In the community of Dencha Chechere, this rule is enforced to the letter. Also, when women or girls are menstruating, they are forbidden from crossing. It is believed that the curse will befall the community when women break this taboo.
The river is having a god of man, so that thing is born on Tuesday. For this reason, it is the Tuesdays when the spirits revoke in the river, maybe some menstrual cycle and those things that we cannot mention of. So as if we mention those things or we detail that things to the river is unclean. So our people or our elderly men saw that all those things attached to women are unclean for that day, Tuesday, because that Tuesday, the gods or the ancestors of the river may having some pacification or something like that. So it's taboo for a woman to attend to the riverside on Tuesdays.
I didn't feel 14 years. I school St. John Methodist Basic School. Mitsi Village, Pakapa Village. My base school at Chichere, and so as I'm a band, just a cross the river and son of my back. Oh, bones, son, so I want to make cross the river if you say it's a woo, then soon. So, to friend Teresa Glover, I didn't feel 13 years. And I do Tuesdays and so a young man into me school boys in a year or more to me back.
Dorcas and Theresa and many other girls have to cross a river to get an education.
So we are currently crossing the Ofing River, and the gods of this river are against girls like Theresa and then Dorcas from menstruating and crossing it. They're against that. They're also against them from crossing on sacred days such as Tuesdays. One very interesting thing is the gods are not against people who are mining in this river. It's quite interesting.
Our government says it will recruit 40,000 teaching and non-teaching staff by the end of this year. That's according to the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, at the Ghana Teacher Prize 2021 at the Osbert International Conference Center in the Bono regional capital of Sunyai. Ebenezer Kojo Otu of the Winneba Senior High School in the Central Region was adjudged as the overall best teacher for 2021. Dr. Baumia said the recruitment exercise will help decongest the pressure on the schools to ensure effective teaching and learning. My colleague Precious Semevo joins us with more. Precious, tell us more about the best teacher. Hello, Precious, if you can hear me. I'm asking you to tell us more about the best teacher.
Yes, the event, as we already know, the Ghana Teacher Prize 2021 took place today in Sunyani, the Bono Regional Capital. The event itself is over. And Ebenezer Ojo Otu from the Winneba Senior High School in the Efutu Municipality of Central Region was adjudged as the overall best teacher. And for his prize, 250,000 Ghana cedis, building apartment will be, that is a 3-bedroom house and assorted items is what he will be going home with the first runner-up also going home, or actually presented here and now, 4x4 pickup, and then the second runner-up, a saloon car, was also presented to them. That is Nelson Xavier Koshi from the Utu Sinton SHS, also in the Central Region, and then Reverend Sister Jacinta Kwachua coming up as the first runner-up. Now, one significant issue that happened here is the displeasure of the teachers' unions that the key personalities invited from the president, the vice president, the education minister, the director of the Ghana Education Service, none of them were present at the event that took place to honor and celebrate teachers worldwide here in Sunyani. And the president of NAT, Philippa Larson, expressed the frustration of teachers and said that this is about the 5th consecutive time that a president has missed an important occasion like this. And they are not happy, and they want the president to take note of that and hope that in subsequent years he will make time to be part of this occasion, though they appreciate the effort and then the policies of government to ensure that teaching and learning goes on smoothly. Now, the vice president had his speech read for him by the tourism minister, Dr. Ibrahim Awar. Now, he said that the 1.6 million students in all have benefited from the free SHS, and that is because of the enormous contribution of teachers to ensure that the program goes on successfully. And teachers have also been very, very proactive in the midst of the challenges that the world faced during this COVID-19 period. Now, he significantly said that this year government is going to recruit 40,000 teaching and non-teaching staff to augment the teaching and also to decongest the pressure on teachers and then the schools to ensure that effective teaching and learning will take place in the schools.
We're grateful, Precious, for the updates. That's Bono Regional Correspondent there, Precious Semevo, with an update on the Teacher Awards. You're watching Joy News Today. Stay with us. We've got business coming up right after this.
Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. If you're a member or regular contributor to the Social Security and National Insurance Trust SNIT, then you may want to heave a sigh of relief because management has extended its operational days to the weekends. SNIT says this is to allow for more eligible clients to have unimpeded access to its services across the country. Speaking at an event to launch its weekend operations, a Deputy Director General, Michael Adote Ado, said this is part of efforts to increase client satisfaction.
According to the Deputy Director General of SNIT, Michael Adote Ado, the move to add Saturdays to the Trust working period has become necessary to allow for more eligible clients to have unimpeded access to services across the country.
For a number of years now, the past few years now, we've been on a focused drive and on a journey to be customer-centric organization. We have pivoted to face our members and clients, to provide them service and very convenient access to all our services. That is the main reason. Then over time, too, we heard our members and clients, some members of clients, requesting that we provide them this service on Saturdays because of their inability to come and do service, to come and engage us and transact business on Saturdays. So based on that and listening to them, we decided to embark on this. So now on Saturdays, if you go to one of those selected branches, you'll be able to transact businesses with all the services that we provide, almost all, to transact businesses with us from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. every Saturday.
Mr. Adote Ado also hinted of plans to extend coverage of the scheme to the informal sector. He explained that under the yet-to-be-rolled-out arrangement, contributors from the informal sector will be entitled to similar benefits as regular contributors from the formal sector.
The app is ready to be launched. We had to merge. Remember now, SNIT, you can merge your NIA card and SNIT card. So we had to take care of that particular aspect of the merger. So that took a little bit of time because that requires quite a lot more than people would think. But that has been done, and I tell you that from next month, we are in October. From this month, we'll start getting ready to launch the app for the use of our members and clients.
The Trust Saturday services will be run across 9 selected branches, including Legon, Trust Towers, Airport City, Tema Community 2, Asafo, and Takoradi.
In other news, the International Labour Organization in Ghana is engaging employers on the need to adopt its project known as the Trade for Decent Jobs. The initiative, aimed at improving working conditions and enhancing labour practices amongst organizations, is being introduced in Ghana with support from the United Nations. Officer in charge of Trade for Decent Jobs, Ikuya Oforia Simedu, told Joy Business that these practices are expected to be considered as part of working conditions for both employers and employees.
When they go back to their enterprises, they are going to allow more dialogue. They are going to use some of their corporate social responsibility to promote decent work at the enterprise and also within the community. If, for instance, you are a mining company and you are in a locality, I know enterprises have budgets which they use for corporate social things. This will help them to work with their direct employees as well as indirect employees, those who are vendors and suppliers to the company, and extend some of the good things that they do to also those people. And workers at that level, even within the media, even your enterprises, some are multinationals, and so on and so forth. So we'll expect that at the enterprise level, there will be some kind of social dialogue, which means you can talk freely to your colleagues, among your colleagues, with employers also. It will also mean that work-life balance will be looked at. You have a life as well as you are working for your enterprise. It will also translate in there's no child labor at that enterprise. Nobody will take underage people. It will also mean that if you need to progress in your career, it will be allowed by HR.
Well, meanwhile, researcher at the Ghana Employers Association, Kingsley La, has disclosed the commitment of employers to abide by the conventions to promote a healthy working relation in the country.
As we are all aware, we know that there are a lot of multinational enterprises operating in Ghana. And their existence in here, they adopt a lot of international labor standards in their operations. But what is most important is that we make sure that their code of conduct or business is in line with the labor regulations that our country have. So areas that we look at collectively to ensure that there's decent work, creation and also peaceful and industrial harmony at the workplace is what we are very much particularly interested in. So that is why we have collaborated with the ILO to ensure that our multinationals in the country are sensitized on some of the principles and guidelines that would help us to, achieve decent work creation and employment relations in the country.
And that's business. There's more coming up at the top of the hour on the marketplace. Meantime, more news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. Sports coming up next.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the sports segment with me, Reiko Ampofo. Ridge City Football Club have won bronze in the 2020-2021 Accra Greater Regional Football Association Women's Division 1 League, and they beat Ningo Ladies by 3-2 at the Medina AstroTurf. The story of this 4-year-old club has been extremely remarkable, and there's more for you in the following special report.
Fighting. They have only one defender, but they have people who can keep the ball.
This is the Monday kickabout of a 4-year-old club, Ridge City FC Women. They're a very young team making huge strides in women's football here in Ghana. They recently finished third in the Division 1 League, beating Ningo Ladies by 3-2 in the playoff. Today, the job here is simple, and that's to find out what the secret has been for Ridge City FC Women and their quick rise to prominence in women's football. Founded in 2017, Ridge City FC Women have quickly risen in the ranks of women's football. A team that was set up just to allow women to play football for fun is now in the Division 1 League and we're on the brink of being promoted to the Middle League. Ridge City eventually finished second in their zone behind Army Ladies, but CEO of the club, Cleopatra Nsia, is just pleased that they have provided an avenue for women to express themselves.
Yeah, well, first of all, I love women's football. I love football, and then I also love women's football because obviously I'm a woman who plays football. And it's really much about giving women an opportunity to play football. And when I was younger, if I had this opportunity, I'm pretty sure I'd probably be playing football by now. I mean, the opportunities were there, but it wasn't like as it is now that we have it. And I just wanted to make sure that I wouldn't leave this earth without giving somebody else an opportunity. So hence the team. We are here, we're supporting women's football, we're encouraging women's football, we're helping women not just with the playing, with the management, with coaching, just anything that gets women into football, and also to encourage other people who are watching from the sides that, yeah, this is something that you can do if you also want to get into women's football.
Head coach of the side, Luis Ano Ampofo Jr., who used to be a sports journalist with the Multimedia Group, speaks of the transition from journalism to coaching and also points out some differences between women's football and men's football.
With journalism, we sit behind the cameras to talk about what they do on the field. Coaching, you on the field. Now they talk about you. So it's been fantastic, quite amazing for me. Knowing very well now, I'm rather on the field, and then guys like you are talking about me and all that. So I think that's where the excitement comes in. Fortunately for me, I know some of the things that you're going to be saying about me and how to deal with it. So yeah, so far it's been a smooth transition and I'm quite enjoying it. With the motivation factor, I believe it's quite tough over here with the girls, and you know, everything that happens, all the happiness in their lives and everything, trying to motivate them for games and all that. But I believe it's a challenge that I'm up to. It's quite incredible. Sometimes you just look at the things that women can do with the game, and then compare it to what guys are doing, and then you see the the gap between, and then trying to close it, and it feels like a job that is quite enjoyable. Sometimes we talk about football being the beautiful game, and then who else to play to be more beautiful than people who are classed as beautiful human beings and not handsome human beings.
Humble Sarah Ayimedu has had the privilege of captaining Ridge City from its inception in 2017. She's been surprised by their success this season, but even believes they can challenge for promotion next season.
It's an amazing feeling. I can't really explain it because we never expected to get to that level. Yeah, looking at our how do I call it? The way we play, we are not really improved players yet. Yeah, so looking at the way we play and all that, is very joyful that we made it to the top. Yeah, but we prepared fully towards it. All we had to do was to study the opponent during the first 10 minutes, see how they play, and then we also come into the game and then we make it. Well, the pressure towards next season is to be the winners, not the third position, but to win the cup itself, for the team. And we are praying that we make it to the Premier League. That's the aim, yeah.
A team that sits low in terms of age and experience, but when it comes to expectations, they shoot right throughout the sky. This is the story of Rich City FC women and how they are climbing pretty quickly in the footballing hierarchy when it comes to women's football here in Ghana. They finished second in their zone in Division 1 and ended up placing third overall in Accra. This only leaves us wondering what this 4-year-old club could achieve in future. My name is Oreko Ampofo, reporting for Joy Sports from Joli.
Now, before we go, let's get the latest from the Black Stars camp, where 27 players have opened camp this morning to begin preparation for this month's Matchday 3 and Matchday 4 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Zimbabwe. We do have more for you in the following report.
This follows the decision of the technical team to excuse 5 players from the squad ahead of the qualifiers. They include Ismail Abdul Ganiu, Tariq Fosu, Alfred Duncan, Mubarak Wakasu and Emmanuel Jesse. Meanwhile, England-based right-back Andy Yadom, who plays for Reading, is currently being assessed after picking up a knock on Saturday during a championship game against Cardiff City. Coach Milovan Rajvac and his men are seeking to get back to winning ways following the 1-0 loss to South Africa in the second Group G game. The Black Stars, who began the World Cup qualifying campaign with a 1-0 win over Ethiopia on Matchday 1, sit second in Group G with 3 points after 2 rounds of matches. Ghana is scheduled to play the Warriors of Zimbabwe in a double-header, with the first leg set for the Cape Coast Stadium on Saturday, October 9, 2021.
That's how we wrap up the sports here. We have more sports news for you at 2 p.m. when Sports Today comes your way live here on the Joy News channel.
In showbiz, singer Adele has heightened speculation that she's about to release her first new music since 2015 after updating her website and social media pages. The star's Twitter and Instagram images were changed to a blue and turquoise pattern, while her old website was scrapped and replaced with a link urging fans to sign up for information. It comes after the number 30 was projected onto several buildings around the world over the weekend. Fans are predicting this will be the name of her 4th album after 19, 21 and 25. And that's it for show business news, and indeed that's it for Joy News. Today, log on to myjoyonline.com for more news. My name is Mama Vio Swabwade. Thanks for your company today.